EDP445 back in the news, more like he never left it, am I right, guys? Oh boy, so it's been a hot minute since I covered EDP. Not enough of a hot minute that I can say that I am happy with how the story's gone so far. But you know what? We're all just along for the ride in this clown circus called America, am I right, guys? Anyway, if you want my full breakdown of the EDP stuff at the current time of all that information we knew, go watch that video if you need the full TLDR. But here's the basic TLDR. EDP445 is a guy who got famous off of memes about him pooping and beating his meat.
Just overflooded the toilet.
And as a result of these memes, it turned out that he was less than a savory individual, let's say, because we're not about 3 minutes into the video, and the sweatshop workers at YouTube need to watch the first 3 minutes to determine whether or not I can get ads. Anyway, EDP445 had rumors going around about him that he was a enjoyer of things related to underage individual. Comprende? So because of that, a lot of people were trying to find out if there was hardcore evidence on EDP. You know, if he was messaging underage individuals explicit information, or whether or not he had something like cheese pizza, or any of those things, right? So these guys went and did a sting operation on EDP. They did that, and then EDP goes home. And this completely apparently gets in the way of the police investigation, so that's kind of up in the air right now. But this video kind of put it out into the public conscious that this guy enjoys risque conversations with those of the younger persuasion. EDP445 has lost all of his social medias in pretty much every way. His YouTube was taken down, and then he moved to Facebook to become a Facebook content creator. And Facebook's got enough problems, so the Zuck said, you're banned, because he's totally cool with funding paramilitary groups, but he is not cool with EDP445. I have no evidence for that whatsoever, please don't sue me. But you'd believe me if I said it, right? Anyway, because EDP445 lost all of his social medias, he moved to YouTube competitor Vimeo. Now you might be going, what's a Vimeo? Vimeo is where filmmakers put their indie movies when they go and submit the movies to film festivals digitally, basically. It's like hipster YouTube, right? So I guess in a way you could say EDP's kind of moving up in the world. He's more like a real true Hollywood producer or director. I mean, you know, when I think about it, there's a lot of guys that EDP kind of reminds me of. These pictures are just famous people in Hollywood. I don't know if... they seem like good people, right? I don't think they've done anything bad. Just like EDP hasn't done anything bad. Because it seems like nothing is being done about EDP and his shenanigans, the public in his neighborhood have begun to get a little worried about a man who enjoys provocative conversations with minors. Right? Living in their neighborhood, being around their schools, being in their parks, being near the high school, being places where kids play. They don't like that. Completely reasonable. I would agree with that as well. And I honestly, I get it. But have you guys ever checked the sex offender registry? Have you ever looked on the map to see how many sex offenders are near you? That's scary. That's really scary. Now, because of all this, EDP has been posting on Vimeo his Eat That Pussy movement, and this guy on TikTok said, I'm gonna go place flyers around the neighborhood so people know to stay away from EDP. If you see this guy, don't let him near your kids, stuff like that, right? And so this guy's been going around putting up flyers, and he turned it into a TikTok, which is cool. I think what he's doing is great, and you know what? Parents should be aware of somebody like this being in their neighborhood. You know, based off of what we've seen so far, I have no reason to say that EDP isn't a groomer in any sense of the word. He definitely is. I feel very confident in saying that opinion, and him being a public figure, it is so much harder for him to get a defamation or slander suit, and it's the stuff he has been caught doing is so incredibly bad that It's just ridiculous. Anyway, this guy does this. He puts it on TikTok, all that jazz. And EDP, being EDP, says, I'm going to get a restraining order on this guy. Which is bringing you up to current speed, where EDP is responding to the TikTok man in his neighborhood who made a TikTok about putting up flyers of him, right? And we're gonna have a little bit of a reaction to that, because I want to live vicariously through this man who's being threatened by the 400-pound man who blew up a Chipotle bathroom.
If you're watching this video, you know exactly who the f you are. Let's cut the bullshit, the games.
Actually, EDP, I believe the time for games and screwing with you has just begun. Now, EDP, I'm a little bit of a chaotic man, right? I like to push the buttons of people on the internet who like to be cringe, right? You ever see Onision? You notice how much I bothered him by just saying that he had a small penis and that I was gonna fight him? Now, that was a great time. In fact, I would honestly say that was one of the highlights of my career. Now, EDP, you are prime meme material, okay? You have reached a point in time where you will never recover from this, okay? So now, the internet's gonna mock you. And if you're somebody who makes memes on the internet and you haven't made an EDP meme yet, now would be a great time to make an EDP meme. Just saying.
That's me, no other fucking choice. You're over here sending motherfuckers to my apartment complex, posting flyers and shit. You're over here on Reddit and Discord and all this extra bullshit, you know what I mean?
A man on Reddit? A man on Reddit. Fuck, I can't believe it. Posting flyers in the neighborhood, that's one thing. But saying things on Reddit.com, no, I don't know how EDP's gonna survive that. He's never gonna come back from this. That was it. That was it. The Reddit post is where EDP knew that there was finally a problem. I keep trying to like wrap my head around EDP's like psychology, right? Because I want to understand his line of thinking, because it's dumb, right? But I can't for the life of me understand where he's coming from, because he said it on camera. He said all the things that he is being accused of on camera. What does he think any of this is gonna do now? Like, when you open up that Pandora's box, you can't walk it back. I don't understand. Like, does he think people are just not gonna notice? Like, who the hell is watching EDP going, I think this guy's okay. I think he was duped. Who the hell is saying that? I have yet to meet a single person. Literally, the only people who are saying that, there's no way. It's just creepy weirdos.
Life is at fucking risk and shit, you know?
You know, EDP, I think you might have put yourself at risk when you decided that, yeah, I think I'm gonna go message kids. Right? Now, I don't know if that's just me, but people have very strong opinions about people like you, right? And they say very mean things, like they should be removed from Earth, or they should be penis removal. But you're telling me the flyers and this TikTok was when your life was truly at risk. Dude, you were taking a huge risk the second you were messaging those minors. Like, okay, let me, like, if I was a father and I found out there was a grown man in my neighborhood who was chatting up my daughter, I would kill him. I'd go to jail, but I would kill him. I don't know any dad who wouldn't kill some guy who's chatting up his 13-year-old daughter. Literally, you would be a bad father if you didn't kill him.
Over here hiding behind a fucking computer screen, you think this shit is fucking funny?
I do. And I'm tired of pretending it's not.
I love how machismo you are behind a computer screen, but meanwhile, you go and you're at the sting operation and you're like, oh, I was just going to get a cupcake.
Over here going after my immediate family, going after my fucking close friends who I would take a fucking bullet for.
I wonder what EDP's family is thinking about him right now. Like, how is that going? I just want to know what that's like. I just want to know. I want the inside scoop. I want to be the fly on the wall, because there's only like a couple of ways I could see it going, and most of this stuff, especially with a guy like EDP, it's kind of generational, right? Especially if he's chatting up like kiddos. There's a much higher probability that he came from a household like that. I'm not saying that is the case. I'm just saying that abuse is kind of like a cycle in that case. So there's a possibility. But friends, dude, who's friends with you? Who is friends with you at this point? I can't see it.
Sort of the fucking cuckoo's nest, my nigga, you feel me? This is serious fucking shit, my nigga, you know what I mean?
Yes, EDP, this is serious. You chatted to a child. Multiple, according to you. To you, according to you, by the way, right? Not them, that's what you said. You responded to that. You answered those questions. Literally, you didn't need to say anything to them. You didn't need to say a single thing. But instead, you decided to sit down and have a conversation with the men who had got you in 4K. I'm just absolutely befuddled at the fact that he's trying to walk it back.
What I've done is that I decided to take it upon myself, go to the courthouse, pick up some documents, and I have decided to file a restraining order against your ass.
EDP445 actually went to the courthouse to get a restraining order on this guy who made a TikTok on him. Now, honestly, there's some bravery in that, you know, the man being accused of a felony going to the courthouse to go get a restraining order. Maybe he's like planning out his route so that way he can most quickly get to the courthouse when his trial does happen. EDP says to be a man, stop being behind a screen, to man up, to be serious about this. Also, EDP gets a restraining order. Now, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be that kind of guy, right? But like, saying that the guy is not credible in anything, and then also getting a restraining order and saying that you're being manly, it's like, EDP, if you're so much of a man, why do you need a restraining order? Can't you just beat him up? You're a manly man who knows what he's doing, right? So why are you getting a restraining order? Do you need one, really? Because you're EDP, you should be able to take a Mr. Masculine manly man, right? Who's not a criminal at all. Yo, EDP got some balls doing this, man. Does he live in a good neighborhood? Because if you live in a bad neighborhood, man, you're gonna be lucky if it's the cops who come to get you, dude. Like, you were playing with serious fire. Okay, this random man on TikTok ain't even the least of your worries, okay? There are much more violent people in the world than this guy on TikTok. And you want to be this gung-ho about it? You are asking for it, dude. I honestly, listen, I'm throwing up my hands up now. If it happens, it happens, and I won't bat an eye, okay? I'm sorry.
Request for civil harassment restraining orders. Has the person harassed you other times? Oh, you mother right he has, you feel me? Harassment means violence or threats of violence against you, or a course of conduct that seriously alarmed, annoyed, or harassed you and caused you substantial emotional distress.
Whoa. Hold on, EDP. That's like, honestly, you're putting up a pretty good argument right here. I think I might hire you as my lawyer when I commit an OJ.
It's all a fucking game. You feel me? It's all a fucking game. It's a fucking joke.
How about another joke, Murray?
You feel me? It's a joke. It's funny as fuck to you.
I can't, what the hell is this? I can't wait for it to be like, this was all an ARG or something. Because this is not, is this real?
Bullshit. It's being shut down. How do you like those apples, you little punk ass motherfucking ugly gremlin rat-faced little bitch?
You ever get the suspicion that EDP445 might be projecting a little bit? Because I'm sensing some serious projection here, right? Now, as an expert who lives in a society, I can say that this man is off his rocker at this rate, because this is completely unreasonable and strange. There's 228 comments on this. I gotta read these. Man, I thought YouTube comments were bad. Vimeo comments are completely dysfunctional, if anything, I would say. But you know what? He can request a restraining order all he wants. It doesn't mean it's going to get approved. You know, it might get to the courthouse and they're going to go, really? Really? But you know what, man? Go ahead. Be as cooperative as you think you are being with the authorities. It is not going to help. This is going to come around and bite you in the butt. It might take a little bit, and the stuff that they might have done, the predator poachers and all that shit, might be holding it up, and they might have complicated it. but I seriously do not see this getting any better for you. There's never going to be a point in time when EDP445 is disavowed of what he's done at this rate. Okay, I do not see that happening whatsoever at all in any sense of the word. You know, most of these comments are just the general okay groomer kind of stuff, or you know, you should commit not alive kind of thing. So, you know, we know those are all there, but we like to keep it classy here at FPS Diesel, so we're not going to read those, you know, for the sake of the channel. But I just wanted to take a moment to highlight this because it is absolutely nuts that this is still going on, and it is as chaotic as possible. But you know what, EDP? If you think you're a man and you wanna throw hands, I'm always around. I'm looking to beat up a YouTuber. Okay, I've been open about that. I just want to fight a YouTuber. It's on my bucket list. You don't have a channel anymore, but I would gladly kick the shit out of you because I know I'd win. You might have a size advantage on me, but I can literally run around you. I mean, I literally could. So there's that. Anyway, goodbye, EDP445. Hopefully you get taken off of Vimeo. I can't see you lasting on there. Because you think YouTube's administration is bad, I guarantee you that Vimeo will take you down. It's gonna happen. Alright, take care everybody, and you know, don't talk to EDP on the internet.